What's going on, guys? This is Anthony from DartProgramming. So in the last class, we talked about while loop, and I thought I should show you guys how to write while loop and how to use it. So today we are going to be talking about a new concept called arrays or lists. Some programming language call it arrays, and then some call it lists. So this is a very important programming concept. Use it very, very well. Use it a lot. So without wasting much of your time, let's jump into the example. So arrays or lists is a way of holding organized structures of data, or maybe organized sets, or holding multiple variables. The way I used to understand it is like while learning it, I would just say it's a way to hold multiple variables in one. The other time I taught you guys variables and you define a variable and you use it. But arrays can hold multiple variables together. It can be the same type, usually the same type, yeah. So let me show you what I mean. So for example, if I want to create a variable that holds multiple age together, I'll show you what I mean. So we have, first of all, you say list. You put less than, greater than sign. This is called generics. I've not teach you guys, but I'm still coming to that. So you could say int age is equals to, you say 5, 9, 20, 15, 30, 25. There's no order here. I'm just creating random of age. So this is the list. If you write list, you put angle bracket, you say the type of list you want to create. If it is an integer or a string, you pass it here. And then you call the name of the variable and then you assign it. So whenever in programming, whenever you see this square bracket, so most likely you're talking about a list or an array. So, and these arrays, they work with indexes. So this is an index. And one thing you should remember very, very well, it works with indexes and every array starts from 0. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I want to access this, I'll just say print ages index 0. Let me print it. You see I get 5. Why? Because this is 0. Every index of array starts from 0. If I say print index 1, say let's see. If I say print index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I say print index 6. I get what? 25. What if I print an index that does not exist? What do you think will happen? 7. If I run it, you see, it crashes there because there's no index called 7. There's no index of 7. So, and some of you will be like, okay, nice, but what is the use of this? Don't worry, sometimes, like, let's say you're building an app, like, let's say a social media app. You know, when you go to your social media app, like your home screen, your newsfeed, you see a lot of items, so a lot of list items, or list of whatever. So those list items, you can organize it in such a way that you turn it to a list of objects, then you display it on the screen of the user. So that is a very, very useful use case of an array. There are so many places they are used. So just know that whenever you want to organize something in a list, you can create an object. They might not contain exactly the same thing, but you can create an object and then wrap it up. Don't worry about this I'm calling objects or whatever. You still understand what all of them mean. You can create an organized structure of data and then return it as a list. So some of you will be like, okay, this makes sense, but how can I print out all the lists, or how can I use all the lists at the same time? Because I'll show you how to work with the index. You know, that's where loops comes in. Like I told you, loops actually helps you to do something multiple times. So if you want to print out all these things at the same time, you can use a loop, right? So let me show you. You can use the for loop to do that. Say for int I is equal to 0, right? I'm starting at 0 because the index is starting at 0. Then I is less than 7, right? Because okay, let me just say less than or equal to 7 or equal to 6 because we have what? 6 arrays here. So less than or equal to 6 indexes. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Now we use less than or equal to 6. Then we have I plus plus. And then I say print ages index of I. What I'm saying here is that at every instance of I, print the value of age. Let me run it and let me show you what I mean. So at the first iteration, I is 0. What is the index of 0? It's 5. You print it. At second iteration, I is what? 1. What is the value of I at age? At the index of age, which is, the value is what? 6. Do the same for 9. Do this until you reach 6. And then 6 is this. You print it and then you stop. That's why I wanted to use less than 7. Let me show you. Less than 7. It still gives you exactly the same thing because this array is less than 7, right? But the reason why less than 7 will work. 6 is the last option, right? When I say less than or equal to 6, it means less than or equal to 6 still is still the highest. I don't know if you understand. So this is the arrays for you. Let me show you how to do some cool things in array. I'll show you. For loop is very important because you can use it basically on arrays. It's very easy for you to use on arrays. This is basically like most of the times you use for loop on arrays. But there's still some array methods that I will still teach you that you can use that will help you do things very fast when you're working with arrays. Well, I'll show you that as well. So let's say this is the ages of my friends, and I want to add them together. I still use the same thing and say for int I equals to 0, I is less than ages dot. Instead of randomly putting a number here, there's a method where we can call on arrays. You can say dot length I plus plus. So some of you will be like, what is this? Dot length return the length of the array. Let's say the array is 5, it returns 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it returns the length of the array. The reason why I'm saying less than ages or length is that the array returns the length, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 is the length. There are 7 numbers here, but due to it starts from 0, I will always say less than because 7 is greater than 6 because it starts from 0. When it starts from 0, it gives you 6, right? I don't know if you understand, but this is a very important thing. I will still explain it very well when we are going through with our tutorial. So let's say I is less than 7 here, and then I have a variable here. I'll say int sum is equals to 0, and I'll say sum is equals to sum plus ages at the index of I, right? And I'll come here and say print sum. So let's run this. 110. So some of you will be like, okay, why did I do? Okay, this is let's try it and see if it is correct. This is 25. This is 25 plus 30 is what? 55 plus 15 is what? 70 plus 20 is what? 90 plus 9 is 99 plus 6 is 105 plus 5 is 110. So this is correct. So this is summing. It's just a simple use case of an array. Trying to show you how you can use array. Arrays are very, very useful, especially when you add them with a loop. That is their best use case. So I'm creating a variable now. I say int sum is equal to 0. Some of you will be like, why did you declare the sum here and not here? The reason why I declare the sum here is that I'm just adding something to this sum. I'm not doing any other thing again. So I don't need it to going through over and over again. I don't need to be initializing it over and over again. And also the reason why I initialize it to 0 is that the starting point is 0. I don't have anything inside. So why should I initialize it to 1 or 2 or 3? So from the starting point is always going to be 0, right? Before I add anything there. So then I create my loop, right? And I say sum. The value of sum is equals to what the previous value of sum is plus the value of age at the index of I. So let's say sum is 0. So I will be like, okay, the new value of sum is 0 plus, if the index is 0 is what? 0 plus 5. Then I'll pass. Then I'll go back again. The new value of sum is 5. So the new value of sum is again 5 plus age is at the index of I. Age at the index of I, if I is 1, is then 6. Evaluate this, I'll have 5 plus 6. What do you get? You get 11, right? Then I'll go back again. I can say the new value of sum again is the previous value, which is what? 11, plus the next value, which is what? 9. 11 plus 9 is 20. And then it continues until it breaks out of this loop. By the time it breaks out of this loop, that is where we are at 25. Then the sum will not be, the new sum is going to be what? Whatever this sum from here is 5, 6, 9, 20, 15, 30. Whatever it is plus 25. It gives you the answer, stores in the sum. And then it comes down and prints sum. Because once this loop is broken, once I get out of this loop, once the I is no longer less than length, it's no longer 7. When I is now 7, it leaves this place and comes down to this place. And then what does it get is a print sum. And then by that time, sum is already containing the total number. then it prints this, and then it stops executing. So that is it. I don't know if you don't understand this, but this is very easy. Let me just explain it for you. So let's say I have 0 plus 5 is equals to what? 5, right? If I turn this upside down, if I revise it, I'll have 5 is equals to the previous sum, which is 0, plus the new sum, which is 5, right? If I go to the next place, what I have here is what? 5, which is the previous sum, right? So sum, by this time I don't know the value yet. I'll say 5, which is the previous sum. I'm trying to explain this expression for you. 5, which is the previous sum, plus the next value, which is 6. What will I get? 5 plus 6. What will I get? I'll get 11. And I'll put 11 here. I'm trying to explain this expression for you. Then the next one is what? 11, right? 11 is the previous sum, plus 9. What will I get? 11 plus 9. I'll get 20. 20. So this, I'll go down again. I'll have the previous sum is what? 20 plus 15, right? And I'll get what? 35. I'll go there and say 35 plus 30. I'll get 65. So 65 is the sum, 35 is the previous sum, this is the next sum. And I'll go back again. I'll say 65 plus 25 is equals to what? 90. Anyways, I think I made a mistake somewhere here. Okay, I omitted 20. Yeah, that's it. I omitted this 20. So you get the idea. So just understand that here it's supposed to be 20 plus 20. So we have 20 plus 20, we have 40. Then here we have 40 plus 15. We have 55. Then 55 plus 30. 55 plus 30. We have 85. Then we have 85 plus 25. We have 110. So I'm just trying to break down this as easy as possible so that you understand it. So going through this, and I'll show you this formula. This is a formula. Look at this mathematically. This is a sum is equals to sum plus another value. So just understand it that this is a formula. So most of the times programming is relating to formula. So just understand this very, very well. And then if you have any question, I'll leave it in the comment section. I'll still show you some examples on loops. So thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.